Rodriguez is real race talk from Texas. It's the Revved Up Sports Show. Here's Bobby Chaffee and Rodney Rodriguez.
Hello. Welcome to a special Tuesday edition of the Revved Up Sports. So don't worry, sports fans. Next week, we should be back on track and get ready for racing season.
Indeed, we will.
It will be. Showtime Bobby Chaffee right here. The Iceman, Rodney Rodriguez. And that's that man over there having fun pressing the buttons.
Welcome, friends. A little Pantera to get you into your Tuesday night.
That's what the weather's going to be like tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, my little barometer thing that I have at the house that people say looks like a bong type thing, that one, it's got the liquid is all the way to the top. Or not all the way, but damn close. So storms.
That's usually what happens when the waterborne.
That's it.
Waterborne gets a little going there.
Suck on that thing. Oh, anyway. But it's coming.
Hey, man, who's on?
It's coming.
What is it? Coming. He's not here, man.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong. Yeah. The request lines are now open. KTRK Soul Radio. Whoa. Anyway, but
I bet you're a big fan of WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh my God, I love WKRP in Cincinnati.
Kids, if you don't know what that is, just Google it. Cause
my goodness,
I'm surprised of all the reboots. Why haven't they rebooted that?
I'm surprised they haven't. I'm really surprised they haven't. But that, oh my God, that is the best show. I mean, Dr. Johnny Fever and all of those people that were on there. Man, that was just. That was good stuff. That was a great show, and of course, you had Lonnie Anderson on there. That was our first glimpses of Lonnie Anderson, and then Jan Smithers as Bailey Quarters. You had Mr. Carlson, and then the great Les Nessman. I thought turkeys could fly. What an episode that was. That always comes up around Thanksgiving time. But yes, WKRP in Cincinnati. That is a great show. Great show. But welcome in, everybody. Hashtag Real Race Talk is what we're doing. Got a lot of good stuff coming up for you tonight. We're going to talk USMTS here in just a little bit. There's your damn dirt, people.
That's right. And more dirt's coming because guess what? Dirt is starting to reach out.
That's right. Yeah.
I got to see the tail end of that little conversation earlier.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's right. If you have your people, call our people. We can try to work something out about getting somebody on the show.
Yeah, nudge your people to get in touch with us, and we can try to make that happen. So yeah, USMTS tonight, and then coming up around 7:30, that'll be at 7, and then coming up around 7:30, we will get ready for Speed Fest. Speed Fest, not the Houston one. I had some folks
that's right.
texting me about it. Is that about our Speed Fest? No, that's a couple of months. That's a couple of months off yet, but we'll talk Speed Fest over in Cordell.
Cordell. Yeah. Is it Cordell Speedway or is it still Watermelon Capital Speedway?
Watermelon. Good stuff. So we'll have that. We got a really good locked and loaded program for you today. So stick around. It's going to be good. And we are very glad that you are a part of it with us here tonight. So I'm trying to cue this up here.
Did you finally find it?
Yeah, I finally found it. Of course, it's the wrong one.
That's all right. I need to go fix the camera anyway.
We're going on the fly
Live
here.
Radio.
So here we go. This is good stuff right here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm still over here playing rock and roll music and all this stuff. There it is.
Baby, if you've ever wondered.
Good stuff right there. WKRP in Cincinnati. Breaking news just before the start of this show, Derek Jeter will go into the Baseball Hall of Fame, and he fell just short of being unanimous, 99.7% of the vote. He missed by one vote. Damn! Oh, sorry. Too bad for him.
Damn, well, that's what happened to Jeff Gordon. One guy didn't vote for him because he wanted to have his vote count for somebody else.
That's it.
Which, does it matter if you're unanimous to get into the Hall of Fame?
Hell, I don't care. You put me in any Hall of Fame, and I don't care.
Just get it, right? That's all that matters, right? Just get in there.
That's all that I care about. Speaking of questions like that, our friend Jacqueline Drake asked a very cool question on Twitter, and I posted on there that I think that should be the question of the night. So with this whole Kyle Larson thing, Kyle Larson wins, and thank you, Caitlin, for chugging that beer so you could be on our post. But so you know, he makes the remark there about winning that race, and it's the greatest win of his career. I mean, obviously, that's what he's used to doing. And the question was, why do these people have to pick? Why do people have to pick what they like?
I mean, you shouldn't have to. I mean,
you shouldn't. No,
if
you shouldn't.
See, there's a difference. See, the problem is, maybe I look at it differently. I think there's a difference between a racing fan and a motorsports enthusiast.
Yeah.
Because a motorsports enthusiast, I would classify us as the enthusiast part because, well, we watch every damn thing. Like, we watch it all. Coming up, we're going to try next week, or actually, I guess now it's this coming weekend, we're going to try to watch almost the full 24 hours of the 24 Hours of Daytona. That's still a bucket list race.
Speak for yourself. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
It's the Pro Bowl. There ain't anything else on.
My whole thing is, when it comes to this, great. Like what you want. I mean, that's totally great. But why do people have to get on people for not liking the other one? I mean, it comes back to the asphalt thing.
But I love the fact that the discussion is coming up again.
Well, hell, it ought to come up again.
I mean, coming up again, right when you thought the divide was starting to gap. I think what it is, though, if you really think about it, right? So when Kyle Larson comes down and he wins a Chili Bowl, it's because he's helping out the sport, right? He's coming back in. He's giving back to the grassroots that he loves. It's a race that he's been wanting to live forever. Kyle Larson wins an Xfinity race. People losing their damn minds.
Yeah, everybody's pissed off. Yeah, so, and I mean, it's good. I mean, despite, and here's the whole thing, because people will get pissed off when I say this, is very good for midget car racing or sprint car racing or dirt
whatever the hell
racing,
those little cars
whatever
are
that
called.
is. It's very good that you have he and Christopher Bell
and Justin Allgaier
going and doing this, and
Stenhouse.
Ferrucci. I mean, all these guys. I was talking about that on that Saturday 30-minute thing on the Horn. It's all these guys that went and did this, and that's very good for the sport. And don't take this wrong, people. If Kyle Larson hadn't won the Chili Bowl or Christopher Bell,
wouldn't even be talking about it.
Wouldn't even be talking about it.
Wouldn't even be. It'd be second nature.
Right, outside of the normal circle there. So it's a big damn deal. It's a big damn deal.
I mean, it is a. So what? I don't know. You've been doing this longer than I have. What makes a race special? Is the race itself special, or do the people that race in it make it special?
Well,
because like the Big Shot 250 here was a special race for us.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, because you had all those people that were in it. That's what made that race special for me. Second one, not so much.
Well, and what happens here? It's with the Chili Bowl, and it's even with our dearly loved Snowball Derby. It's impossible for the normal Joe Schmo to go over there and be competitive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's what takes away. The event is great. The event is great, but when you look down and you see a Kyle Larson or Christopher Bell or Ryan Newman and all these guys are coming in, or you look at the Snowball entry list and Kyle Busch is on there and all of these other people, I mean, you know what you're going to expect, and that's what takes away from the event, and that's what was so nice about the Snowball the Big Shot back in the day, was that it was for the most part on a level playing field. Level playing fields are gone.
The best part about the best part about the original Big Shot 250 was the guys you got to see, right?
Yeah.
You got to see your Wayne Willards of the world. You got to see your Jason Hogans, your Ricky Turners, the guys that you just didn't normally get a chance to see.
Yeah.
That's what made that race special because those guys came west of the Mississippi for the first time in a long time for most of them.
And I think the big deal for a lot of us, let's go to the Snowball because I haven't been to Chili Bowl. I do want to go.
I'd like to go. We should have gone with Joe.
But what makes that? I mean, for one thing, you get to see Augie, you get to see all of these guys, like you're saying, all of the guys that we typically don't get to see race around here. We get to see all of those guys and the Casey Rodericks and all those. It's a whole thing. But at the same time, we get to see a lot of friends that we don't typically see around here. And it's a damn sad thing that we got to drive all the way to Florida to see people that are right here in the same state, and that's
who aren't supporting their local track. Now that's the head scratcher.
And that's on y'all. That's not on anything else. I mean, you've got that there. Yeah, we don't have a Snowball here, and we don't have a Chili Bowl here, although there are a lot of great events around here. USMTS doing a really, really damn good job of bringing some big
still
stuff
looking
here.
forward to that race that Sunday afternoon at Cotton Bowl.
Yeah. Shout out, my man, Butch Havelka checking in.
That's right, Big Daddy.
He was, I put a post up about that guitar laying over there in the corner. One of these days on this program, I'll play y'all a little tune. I had a John Conley request. I had a private request for some Vern Gosdin. Had the Earl Thomas Conley. Somebody said Metallica. Good luck with that.
I
that
think,
guitar won't do that.
I think that you're going to play any song that's associated with Ivory.
She's got one of those. It could be a duo.
A duet.
Yeah, it could be Mexicano and Ivory. You had Ebony and Ivory, so it could be. Would that be like Sanford and Son, or I don't know what that would be? I'd have to come up with something. But we'll play a tune on that thing one of these days.
Beans and White.
we need to have. Yeah, there it is, right there. That is it.
Oh God, I'm
refried and Ivory. We need
to get the hate mail now.
We need to have a revved up sports show karaoke outing.
Maybe we can do that at the Daytona 500 party.
Get all these
during the cautions.
Keyboard warriors out there to sing a tune. Sing a tune. Oh, by the way, at the end of this show, I hadn't even gotten to tell you this. So I think at the end of this, I think it'd be really cool as we get ready to get out of here and play the thing. We can do one for the road. Like when you're going. Mm-hmm. Just a random story about it can be racing related, or it can be society, or it can be whatever. So,
did you come up with that on Saturday?
No, I actually came up with that because I was scrolling through some music earlier and ran across a really cool song called "One for the Road."
Oh, hey,
how about that? We can play that right at the end.
Shit, sometimes it works like it's supposed to.
Sometimes it does. So 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs will be in your Super Bowl. I totally missed that one, but that's the glamour game. That's a sexy matchup. That's going to be a good game.
I mean, the only thing I'm disappointed about is that both teams are red, so it kind of limits the different types of Jello shots you can make. Being all red. I mean, not that I really wanted the Packers to be there, but red and green.
Yeah.
Blue and green, blue and red. Need a little bit of diversity in the.
Yeah. Well.
Wait, is Jello like a Fruit Loop? That it doesn't matter what color it is, they all taste the same color. We just think they taste different colors because of the different colors.
I think so. I don't know if the mix actually factors in to any of that at all. I mean, it's all sugar. Mm-hmm. Just add water, mix it up, and let it sit.
It's been years since I had made actual Jello.
Stiffens up.
Remember the TMS parties with the Jello shots?
I do.
Not all of the party, but actually, I remember some of it.
One of my kids made a bowl of Jello a while back, and man, I sucked that whole thing down with nothing in it. I mean, it was just regular Jello. Shit's good. You forget. You forget. And I like the Jello that has the fruit cocktail in it.
See now.
Oh man, I like that. I like that. I like that. That's good stuff. NASCAR playoffs for the trucks are now extended to 10.
That's interesting.
But it's like
only
3 that can win.
But that's the backlash of having the motors blow up.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's all that is. I was more surprised about the Indy deal with the Xfinity cars.
I like that. I actually do like that. I think that will be, nice. You got to do something to sprucing that up. I mean, it's
you realize
that's a snoozer.
Roger Penske got more backlash from switching around his Cup crew chiefs than he did about putting the Xfinity cars on the road course at Indy during that weekend.
Well, and you still get the same. Moving to IRP. Not gonna happen.
IRP can't support that race.
Not going to happen.
Anybody been to IRP lately? Everybody wants them to go back to IRP. Have you seen that track? That track is a shit hole.
Well, and then it's
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Props to the people that still run that place. But if you have the chance, right, are you going to want to take your Xfinity car back to IRP?
It's a short track weekly program. You want to go over there and rattle your teeth out and beat your crap all up? I mean, it's like, when people used to tell me, take that dwarf car to the dirt track. You don't tear stuff up.
Right.
Man, I went to one dirt track, came home, and all the damn suspension broke off.
But never mind.
No, I didn't hit nothing.
That's for another discussion on another show. But that's interesting.
But anyway, there is an announcement coming up tomorrow. I did read via IndyCar Media that there's a press conference scheduled from AJ Foyt Racing on the NTT IndyCar series about the 4-car. You got the 14, which is Kanan. Something with what's that guy's name? Light?
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Mateus Light or something.
Mateus Light. Matty Light. So I'm assuming course, they lose the ABC Supply sponsorship after many, many years. So
that's kind of surprising. But are they leaving the sport,
tough.
or did they go to somebody else?
I think they're kind of done. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, we just celebrated the birthday of A.J. Foyt, and that's just a monumental figure in Texas racing.
I think him and Petty are about that same point, right? I guess you could even throw lots of discussion this week about Roush Fenway trying to get back to the top of the mountain.
Did you see the breaking news on TobyChristie.com today?
I did not get a chance.
There is more, and here's the thing with Roush Fenway. They've already got the Wieners. Oscar Myers re-signed. There is a major sponsorship announcement supposedly slated for tomorrow with the 6 car with Newman, and it's really looking like it's going to be Quaker State.
Really?
Yeah. So bringing them back into the sport, and this is Ryan Newman. When we talk about these young guys driving the sport and doing all this stuff, but Ryan Newman's really solidifying himself.
Is he
here.
growing on you? There for a while, I didn't like him.
Ryan Newman?
He's been growing on me here lately.
He really is. Yeah.
Telling it like it is. He's jumped about being a 41-year-old rookie at the Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about 41 because it's starting to creep up on me.
Yeah, that's totally good.
I'm going to totally. Are we good? Are we doing? We got to figure out if we're doing a show that Monday. After the Super Bowl, I guess we have to.
That's going to be tough because that's a UIO realignment.
Oh, that's right.
I've got some.
I might be hung over that day too.
I got some duties early that morning.
On the 3rd?
Yes.
We might as well plan to do that show on the 4th.
Whoever the hell scheduled that UIO realignment thing, that was a bad move. But yeah, so
well, it doesn't matter. Sam Marcus is going to take Lehman's place in 6A.
Yeah, Lehman moving down. They could be playing the Lockhart Lions, possibly. That'd be a good matchup.
Maybe San Marcos can get the same waiver because they're only like 10 students over, too.
Yeah, maybe. J.J. Watt will host Saturday Night Live on Saturday, February the 1st, also broke today. As you could tell, it's a constant news cycle today.
That's right.
This watch right here tells me everything. I got this for Christmas. It's a Fossil smartwatch, and this thing tells me everything that's happening.
Does it work like a regular smartwatch?
Oh, yeah. It tells me everything. My sleep pattern, tells me my heart rate. It tells me everything. When I cycle, I turn this thing on, and it gives me all this information, and it's really good.
Maybe I'll talk to one of the interns.
It's really, really good. Yeah, no one that can set you up. Got this surprise gift, and it's really pretty cool. I like it. Pretty cool.
Really? You have to show me how it works.
Yeah, pretty cool. So J.J. Watt on February the 1st, so is he the next Peyton Manning in the NFL? Kind of the colorful figure and doing.
Well, you got to see how they are. I think he'd be great for TV. I think that J.J. Watt on TV on color would be better than Jason Witten.
Well, Jason Witten might go play for the Giants. I saw.
Wouldn't that be odd?
They can have him. I love the guy. But there are guys.
He's a Garrett guy.
Yeah. There are guys on the Cowboys that can catch and run a lot better than Witten can now.
Yeah.
Witten was very, very good, and go be a Giant. But what do you do with Evan Ingram? Well, maybe a clean swap there. That'd be all right. Switch tight ends. Last thing I have, we got to do a rest in peace. Bill Day Motorsports. I know a lot of us, we had the Bill Simpson thing that we talked about a couple of weeks ago with Bill Simpson, innovator in race safety apparel. But Bill Day from Day Motorsports, I think it was about the year I was born, way back.
48 years ago.
So
like 8 those stones. I'm starting to crack up that 40 ladder.
Day Motorsports made it easy for we Texans to get our safety apparel really, really fast. Really, really fast and really, really good stuff. So he passed away. I saw that announcement today. So that's
Didn't Smiley's end up buying them?
No, I don't think so. I think Day is still their own standing alone entity.
I'm sure someone will tell me.
Yeah, somebody will tell us. But your thoughts throughout the show. I know we got a lot of 49er fans. I know we got a lot of Chief fans.
There's only one Chiefs fan that I know.
I know one true Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I want to say it's probably the same one.
Oh, yeah. I sent him a text. I'm like, look, Milton Hope. I'm very happy for you. I mean, that's a great thing. I was giving him a hard time about the Titans thing, but he's like, come on, that's the Dallas Texans. I'm like, no, that's Kansas City Chiefs. But, so anyway, I'm over this Mahomes thing. I mean, but at the same time, I just can't cheer on the 49ers, so it's going to be a good game.
You're not a Jimmy G fan?
Well, I don't mind Jimmy G, but I'm a Cowboy guy. I mean, yeah, I can't cheer on the fly. I do like Shano. I like Kyle Shanahan. That's an Austin guy or a Texas guy, and what a job he's done. I mean, you can't.
Well, from the year
take
before,
anything away. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he's rebounded quite well.
And I find it very odd that folks are saying that, Jimmy G only threw 8 passes or whatever it was, and he's not that great a quarterback. Well, he had a busted leg last year, and they were, 3-13?
Who cares how you win?
Right.
The only person that cares how they win is the running back if he doesn't have a good enough contract.
That's exactly right. And as much as I was hoping that the Titans could do their thing, you can only ride Derrick Henry so long, and that will eventually stop. And the question for me...
At some point, somebody's going to learn how to stop it.
That's it. And the question for me will be, here with Ryan Tannehill, you always have that every year. It's somebody that sneaks up or a team that sneaks up, and... what happens to Ryan Tannehill next year? Somebody going to pay him a lot of money, and he's going to go be, Larry Brown?
Nick Foles?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Is he coming back? He's got to be
so.
coming back.
I think so. Yeah, I'm sure he will. So anyway, it'll be a fun Super Bowl. It's going to be a very, this could be a final possession Super Bowl.
I hope so. I hope the game's good. I actually hope the weather is better.
It should be. I'll be checking the thing and make sure. I'll give you true forecast. No offense to our weather forecasting friends, but my thing works better, or my barometer thing works better. It's a little more accurate. Yeah,
but there's bubbles in the barometer.
Yeah. Not only that, the liquid's green. The liquid's green, for crying out loud. The other piece of motorsports news that we did miss, and don't start, people. Don't start, because this lady's a friend of our show. Natalie Decker on a part-time basis.
That's
with
right.
Al Neese. And I think that can be good for her, I think. Doesn't have to do it every week. I think she can go in there and just get better. Just get better. She's going to be fine.
So is she part-timing with Ross Chastain, or is she part-timing with the other kid?
The 44. She'll be on the 44. I think that's going to be like 3 people sharing that vehicle. So, the only bad thing about that, I've been a firm believer that a better part of being a race car driver is doing it a lot. So
they probably only both brought a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's another change there. So there's lots of stuff happening, and that's kind of the beauty of our sport, is it never stops.
I know.
Always going on. Always going on.
Might even have some reconstruction here at the studio here coming up.
Yeah.
And don't forget, as we redo the studio, we can make an advertising plan that works for you on a budget that works for you, too.
That works for you. We're a little better now. That works for you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I've been doing these inspirational things.
I see that.
Somebody handed me a card the other day and said, "You need to live by this." I'm like,
what did it say?
What are you saying about me?
I got a card the other day from Little Woodrow's in South Austin. It said 458. Close enough.
Ah, nice. There you go. Good stuff. All right. So we're getting down to business here. There's actually still people watching here. It's pretty good.
I know, right?
We're going to get after it here.
Should we take a break for our guest?
Oh, yeah. Let's take a break. We got to talk some USMTS. That's coming up. We're going to talk to Jeff Nunn. USMTS making an impact up in here around the state of Texas. That's coming up. Stick around. Good stuff. This is the Revved Up Sports Show from deep in the heart of Texas.
The Horn is talking fantasy sports with the Wagner Wire. Sunday mornings from 10 to noon. Adam Wagner gives you heroes and zeros at 10:45. Who do you love at 11:10? Just the tip at 11:45. And the best starts and sits from all of your fantasy sports teams. The Wagner Wire, Sundays from 10 to noon on The Horn. Sponsored by Audiovisual Consultations.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only social club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay serving Central Texas. Located in Round Rock, just off 35, the Lodge boasts the area's largest room with 20 tables, 30 big screen TVs, and nightly complimentary food. Whether you're looking for a tournament or a cash game, you will find it at the Lodge. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 to 4 a.m., and 24 hours on the weekend. Visit us at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045. Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. With stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and now our newest store in Pflugerville. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea.
I love Bush's chicken.
Bush's chicken. It's good, good, good.
We are proud supporters of local high school football, always have been and always will be. So get in the game with the one, the only, the original in Austin, BMW of Austin. We are Austin's natural BMW choice. We have over 225 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles in stock, over 600 new in stock and incoming BMWs as well. That's a whole lot of choice available just for you. It's time for you to score big from the one, the only, the original in Austin, BMW of Austin, 7011 McNeil Drive. Experience our passion.
You know, buying and selling real estate is...
Tune in to Under the Lights, presented by ARS Rescue Rooter. Every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 on the Horn, Rick Epstein and Jeff Power of IHS Fan Magazine shine the spotlight on Austin area high school football. Under the Lights, Wednesday nights at 7 on the Horn, is brought to you by ARS Rescue Rooter, Bush's Chicken, Orthopedic Associates of Central Texas, Scott Felder Homes, The Lodge Poker Club, Austin Community College, and Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Saturdays at noon, Revved Up ATX takes over the Horn airwaves. Rodney Rodriguez and Bobby Chaffee discuss the world of motorsports, including winners and losers at 12:15 and places for races at 12:45. It's Revved Up ATX, Saturdays at noon on the Horn, where Austin talks racing. Hashtag Real Race Talk.
Text and whatever. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
All right, back here live, Tuesday edition of the Revved Up Sports Show. Showtime Bobby Chaffee right here, the Iceman, Rodney Rodriguez. We're going to jump right in to the Revved Up Sports Show hotline. Rodney, who we got over there, man?
Absolutely. We've been talking USMTS for a couple of weeks, making a real stamp here in the state of Texas, and we do go to that Revved Up Sports Show hotline that Bobby talked about, and we bring in Mr. Jeff Nunn. Jeff, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Can't complain, my brother.
Yeah, it's Tuesday's not a Monday, so that's that's not too bad, I guess.
We're sawing away.
One day closer to the weekend.
No doubt, no doubt. So it sounds like you guys have been extremely busy putting one hell of a schedule together.
Yep, Todd Staley. This is the 21st year of putting that schedule together, and it gets harder all the time. You need to get along with your neighbors, the other tracks around there, and what specials are running, and you got to work into tracks individual weekly racing schedules. And then you got to do stuff that, geographically makes sense. You can't go to Mississippi one day and then New Mexico the next night. So
that doesn't work?
All that stuff comes into play.
No doubt.
So we'll start off with the easy questions. They'll get harder as we start paying more attention. But so what exactly is your day-to-day relationship with USMTS, and then kind of talk about how you got to where you are. You can use the full version, Cliff Notes version, whatever works for you.
Are you, me personally, what my duties, what do I personally do? Is that what you want to know?
Among other things, yeah.
Okay. Well, I actually had a website about 25 years ago, and when Todd first started running the series, even before he did some advertising with me.
Nice.
And we ended up hooking up in about 2003 and 2004 and talking to each other a bit. And I came on board in 2005. And I kind of handled the marketing at first, and as well as all the press, and kind of slowly but surely worked my way out of the marketing department. And his son Ryan pretty much handles that fully himself now. And I take care of the social media and the communications, the website, things like that. And I've always said, my job is just to try and make it look good.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Jeff, because it used to be, I mean, we've been in this forever ourselves. And it used to be, maybe some radio advertising and just, some print media. But nowadays with racing, just your thoughts, the importance of social media and how much that can actually drive a racetrack or a series to be successful.
Oh, it's the main point of, where the majority of people are going to get their news and information about you. So it's volatile because your newspaper ad can't be vandalized.
Yeah.
However, when you're on social media, other people have access. You have other people's comments. It's a lot more. There can be some unfriendly waters that you have to navigate through, but at the same time, there's a lot of people you can reach. But right now, the struggle is to get through the noise because everybody's making noise.
Mm-hmm.
So you either got to find a trickier way to get your message across, or you got to be louder.
Yeah,
so we're trying to do both.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great perspective.
Yeah, that is a great perspective.
Very good.
So in terms of how the series is progressing as a whole, is it becoming easier or harder to market it? Because it seems like Rodney said, USMTS has always put on some good shows here in Texas, but now it seems like the name USMTS is now coming to the forefront when you talk about a series that puts on some damn good racing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that it has gotten easier as time has gone by. When he first started the series 21 years ago, most of the shows he would rent the tracks and put the shows on himself, and so he would take all the risk, but he could also get all the reward.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, most shows, we don't run them. We come in and run our portion of it, but the tracks have been able to, be profitable with USMTS shows, so that makes it a lot easier to book races when a track feels they can make some money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I grew up a hardcore sprint car fan and a dirt late model guy as well, but mostly in the sprint car world. And I would drive past a 410 show for a good modified show nowadays.
Yeah.
So I've just fallen in love with the modified. The modifieds of the early '80s. They kind of drove like dump trucks, and they weren't quite as exciting as the ones today are.
Yeah.
But for my money, the racing in our series and the modified class is just unbeatable. We also have the USRA, which is under the same umbrella, and we've got a stock car class that's pretty incredible in its own right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like for those it seems like sport mods are all the rage now, but there's something about a really damn good show of the full-size mods and the USMTS. For the people that forgot what good modified racing, the big mods are, you definitely got to hit up a USMTS race. That's for damn sure.
Yep. I mean, good racing is always good racing, but I really just don't think the sound of an engine hitting a chip will ever be a cool sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely struggle with that myself. I mean, we hear it a lot on the asphalt side where it's like, man, it just doesn't seem right. So your thoughts with that, Jeff, because we have, you had your big mods and they were extremely popular here, and then the sport mod came in, and now that stock class, that factory stock thing, it's just kind of a cycle. It seems like where something pops up and it kind of becomes the rage. And your thoughts on that? Is that financially driven, or why does that happen?
It's financially driven at times. Other times it is, it's just trends. Things trend a certain way. The factory stocks were made affordable really by the tire rule. They run those asphalt pull-offs, and I've heard you can get them from, anywhere from $20 to $40 a pop. And when a racing tire is $100,
I heard that.
That's a big cost savings throughout the year. Just that cost of tires.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people in that class feel like with the rule book that they're all on a level playing field. And So it's basically up to them whether they win or lose. And I think that's ultimately what every driver wants, is to feel like it's in his hands. It's what's inside the helmet, not under the hood, that's going to make a difference.
Right. Absolutely.
So, Jeff, one of the coolest things about USMTS that I like, obviously the cars are cool and they're loud and all of that. From the perspective that Rodney and I are on, have kind of been on both sides of the fence, drivers and announcers and helping with management teams. The coolest thing about what I see about USMTS is the dedication from the drivers, because you see guys. I remember when you guys opened up at Shady Oaks down at Goliad, Texas, a couple of years ago. There were guys from all over the upper Midwest. I remember there was a pair of brothers from Minnesota. It just seems like you guys have some pretty decent loyalty from the drivers, and they really will. They'll follow you border to border and coast to coast.
Sure. We change things up every year and do something different. We came up with something called the Hunt in 2007, which was similar to what NASCAR's Chase is.
Mm-hmm.
And August began the playoffs, and that made for some closer points races, and so we've tried some different things with different regions and how the points work. And 2 years ago, we just made it all one series again. The entire season counted. Didn't matter who got way ahead or who got behind. Well, we had more drivers that ran every single race that season than we ever had before. Mm-hmm. And paying $50,000 to win the points didn't hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. So we had Bryce, as Jeff Nunn joins us here. We're talking USMTS on the Revved Up Sports Show. We had Bryce on, I believe it was last Thursday, and we were talking about USRA and such, because the question has been since the USRA and then the USMTS impact that we're starting to feel here. A lot of folks are like, well, when that show comes in, what are we going to see? So speak to that. What these shows that are coming, what should these fans expect class-wise and so forth?
Well, what they could see with USMTS is they'll see great competition, guys that can race side by side, 3 wide, 4 wide, as the track allows, and not tear stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
What you're not going to see is a lot of cautions. What you are going to see is a lot of guys that have raced on every kind of track surface you can think of. They've raced on hundreds of different kinds of tracks, dry tracks, wet tracks, sticky tracks, flat tracks, bank tracks, so everything in between. And they've learned to tune their cars. They've learned to drive them. And that's how these national guys can come into a track that maybe a local guy who has the same equipment and has the experience in that track, but these guys have seen those tracks as well.
Yeah.
So there's not really an advantage except for just knowing some of the nuances about that local track.
Right.
The other thing, too, that makes a difference is, a usual, like a weekly race, will get anywhere from 12 to 24 cars, and they'll run a 25-lap feature. Well, when you stick 26, 28 cars out there and they run 50 laps, the local guys aren't used to the track conditions and the way they'll change in those long races.
Mm-hmm.
So that does level things out for the guys that might not know the tracks as well as the local guys, because everybody's racing on something different. In that case,
that's awesome.
But there's everywhere we go, there are 2 or 3 or 4 guys that race at tracks weekly right there that can win those races. That doesn't happen very often,
right?
But there's guys that the quality of drivers around this country that race weekly are still, I think, just as good as it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's appealing. That's appealing for the local guy, where you do have a national show coming in, and you do have a half-assed chance to be competitive, if not win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we went up to Minnesota last year, and a couple of Wissota tracks and a couple of Wissota guys that had never won USMTS before, whooped up on the Travelers.
Nice.
We go to a place like Deer Creek Speedway up in Minnesota, and it's a regular occurrence, that one of the weekly guys wins up there. Lucas Oil Speedway, same thing. You get down into Texas, you got guys like Clyde Dunn Jr. and Tristan Dykes, and guys that have been around the block quite a few times,
mm-hmm.
that can win a USMTS race just as easily as they can win at a $600 to win local Saturday night show.
Right,
mm-hmm.
right.
So there's good competition everywhere we go locally, And then you have the travelers. There's guys that are able to, some guys, it's pretty tight for most guys. Most guys aren't any different than anybody else, and they're racing on a credit card. But there's other guys that are really smart with their money and their sponsorship. Rodney Sanders is a good example. I mean, that kid he sells himself. He runs his own program. He gets his own sponsors, and, nothing gigantic, but all combined, he works to, and he puts his sponsors in victory lane a lot, so that makes a difference too.
Yeah, that helps.
But, he's a guy that's able to run his own program. He doesn't have a huge checkbook to work with. He's got to earn everything he's got, and he does real well with it.
And, of course, that's a champion. That's
right.
That all helps.
3-time champion now.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, Jeff, we talked to Bryce about it a little bit. What comes first? The track calling with the money to put up the sanctioning fee, or is it do you guys want to go a specific place and then you guys talk to the tracks? Is it a combination of both? I mean, how does USMTS decide on which section of the country they want to race? I know that some of it's logistical, like you said. You can't run Texas on one night and Mississippi the next, but what is it as simple as just putting it all together? Is there a method to the madness?
No, there's no method to it. There's so many different factors. Like right now, it's geographical. We can't race in 12 feet of snow in Minnesota and Iowa.
Right.
But we can go down and race in Corpus Christi in February.
Yeah.
And same thing in the middle of July. Not a whole lot of fun to race in the Dallas area in the middle of July. It gets pretty moist.
Yeah, a little bit.
Pretty hot.
Yeah, a little bit.
So when you're up in Minnesota and the Dakotas, in the heat of the summer, it's a little more comfortable to run up there then.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you'll see our series will start February, March, start working our way from Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Louisiana, start working its way north. And by Memorial Day, we're back up in, 4-hour drive from Canada.
Wow.
So geographically, that's got to work out to give fans the best weather. Drivers will race in anything, so that's not a concern unless it's raining.
Yeah.
But so you'll see us move in that direction as the weather goes.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the attraction, we have our certain tracks that have had 10, 11, 12, even 20 events every year in their annual events. We have new tracks that come on every year. We have, tracks that will race a few years and they'll drop for a few years. Our sport goes through promoters.
Right.
Sometimes, like college football players.
Yeah, no doubt.
So there's a lot of turnover there, and that you have to deal with that too. You're always dealing with new people with the turnover of promoters in the business. So really everything goes into it, and just somehow, some way, every January, every December, we come up with a good schedule with 50 plus races.
Yeah.
And we just can't wait to get to Corpus Christi and go have some seafood at Doc's right there on the Gulf.
There you go. Absolutely. So we'll get to that Texas swing here in just a second, but kind of keeping it within Texas. So you talked about new places. Hell, you're heading to the TMS dirt track this year in September. So that's that's a grand little stage right there at TMS.
Yep, that's a big event that Chase Allen has put together, and we can't wait to go. That's a huge venue. It's a premier facility.
Mm-hmm.
Chase has promoted a lot of shows down there, so he knows the people down there, and I think it's going to be one heck of a barn burner.
Yeah,
so
it is.
I can't wait to see our guys run there, and hope the fans turn out and make it a great show that we can come back to annually. So we'll be there with the late models, and I believe the limited mods. And factory stocks, maybe. I can't remember if they're there or not. But
yeah.
I know the late models, the Comp Cam Series, and the limited mods will be there. So it's going to be there should be a ton of cars for that.
Man,
yeah.
Might have to get a live show.
We're looking forward to that. And this is also our coming up here the first weekend in March.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to getting to Big O Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
That's through all these years, we never went to the old 85 Speedway. We never got the series, never ran there. So we're finally going to Enos. We'll be there for 3 days the first weekend in March.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's close enough for a road trip, too.
Yeah, well, so is that TMS.
Yeah.
We might have to reach out to you and try to put something live together that day. That would be awesome. That would be a really cool thing.
Yeah, that would be great.
No doubt.
TMS
No
holds
doubt.
30,000. I bet they'll be close to that with that card.
Yep.
So we talked about the 30,000 seat capacity tracks. Let's go talk more local stuff with the trio at Texas tracks that's opening up. I-37 in Pleasanton, STS, South Texas Speedway, and then closing out the weekend on Sunday afternoon at Cotton Bowl Speedway. That for us, for Rodney and I, when we saw the announcement of that and the schedule for it, we were just like, hell yes, that's going to be 3 days of some damn good racing.
On the road again.
As long as Mother Nature cooperates, we should have a whole hell of a lot of fun that weekend.
No doubt.
Yep. We've had trouble with Mother Nature cooperating at Corpus. We had, that first year, the first year we ran there, we got the final night got fogged out. So we had some thick fog that rolled in to start the feature, and we couldn't see anything. Then a few years back when Owen Pittman still had the track, that backstretch wall collapsed, and we had to move the show. I think we moved the show to Goliad.
Oh, yeah.
When that happened.
I do remember that. Yep. I do remember that. Yep.
And but I'm looking forward to I-37. I've only seen pictures and some video of it. That place looks marvelous. I can't wait to go there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then South Texas, Corpus Christi with Steve Whitaker and those boys. That place, I think that is the template, size, dimensions, and banking that a dirt track should be, especially for weekly racing. It's just perfect in size. It's not too big that it's a motor eater. It's not too small that you can't get around other cars. I think the place is laid out great. I love how the place lays out, and you got the bar and the entertainment stuff underneath the grandstands, and really a neat place. And I personally love Corpus Christi.
Yeah, that's.
I would get so fat if I lived in Corpus Christi.
and that is the beauty of Corpus, because with 37 out there in Pleasanton, it's a little
far from everything.
I read where somewhere said it's just outside of San Antonio. I'm like, oh, it's a lot outside of San Antonio. And then Cotton Bowl, great facility, but it's kind of sitting out there a little bit. But South Texas, man, you got a little bit of everything there. The nightlife is fun. There's all kinds of stuff to do in Corpus.
Yeah, last time we were at Cotton Bowl, we had a 3-day show there, and we left that place with Derek Ramirez and Chris Brown from Spring, Texas. Not the best of friends at the end of that race.
Oh, no, not at all.
So there was a little bit of wrinkled sheet metal and a little bit of fire going on in the front stretch at the end of that one. So looking back to getting there, and I don't think Chris will be running. He hasn't been running much lately.
Yeah.
But you'll see Derek Ramirez back there, and maybe he'll get the checkered flag this time.
Yeah. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to at least try to find a way to either bring you some good old school Austin food, or maybe get you either a late afternoon or something. Get you up here to get some good old fashioned
barbecue.
Barbecue.
Get some barbecue.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you some good barbecue that's nothing like that in the Midwest. But so talk about the feel of the series, right? So you guys start out in Texas, and then everything kind of moves. At some point, do the drivers? How do you guys fight like burnout for that? Because I know that the regional stuff, that's great. But in a couple of weeks' time, when the newness, so to speak, wears off, and you got bent rims and bent control arms and stuff like that, how does the series try to keep the burnout factor from happening?
Well, that's why you don't have 20 or 30 guys that run the series. It is
right.
It is grueling. UMP has their Hell Tour. That only lasts for a month. We have the exact same thing, but it lasts for 9 months. And it's grueling. You're on the road a lot. You're not home. It's a lot of dirty. You're not working in shops either. You're working in Walmart parking lots on your car.
Right.
It could be blistering hot, or it could be wet. You're working at dusty, dirty racetracks, or maybe in the mud, doing all your work. You're pounding out sheet metal early in the morning, or you're working late into the night, and this goes on and on and on. And then you have a weekend off, and then we usually take about a month off in June, around 4th of July time. So we've got a summer break there before we really get into August. We race usually about 20 out of 30 nights during that month, and come in with some big events in September and October. And we got some really big events slated for RPM Speedway this year. Last time we were there, we packed the house, had some magnificent racing, and the guys from KR Promotions are just doing incredible stuff there in Crandall.
Yeah.
So the Summit USRA Nationals, Southern Nationals will be there this year. That'll be 3 days coming up the end of October, first week in November. That will be a huge show. Can't wait to get to that one. Great little bull ring in Crandall and being run by some guys that know how to promote the sport.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And you mentioned those South Texas guys, and I mean, all of them, 37, all of them, Cotton Bowl, they're doing a great job. But those South Texas guys, you mentioned Stevie, those guys get after it, and they've done a hell of a job getting their track on the map again.
Oh, yeah, they do. There's several guys down there. Trying to think of the guy's name. Cody Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
Every time we get down to that area, we see him. But we never see him up north, and he's always a contender in all the races we're at down there.
Yep.
And used to see him at Goliad every time, and we see him at Corpus Christi, and hoping we see him on the track again.
Yep.
But, yeah, looking forward to getting back there and seeing everybody at South Texas. We had a great show last time we were there. Yeah. And as you know, last time we were there, that was Johnny Scott swept that opener, and 9 months later, he was our national champion and $50,000 richer.
Nice. Nice. It all starts February 28th at 37, on the 29th on the leap year at South Texas, and then March 1st at Cotton Bowl Speedway, man. Looking forward to it, Jeff. Hell of a way to start the season. Glad you're doing it down here.
Oh, I am too. Love it down there. Can't wait. Can't wait to smell that fuel.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to come find you. And like Bobby said, we'll get you some good food and swap stories and enjoy some racing. It's going to be badass.
I look forward to it. Thanks for giving us the time, guys.
Absolutely. Anytime,
No
man. Let us know how we can help. Just shoot me over a message, Jeff. Take care, brother.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Jeff Nunn right there talking about the USMTS, the United States Modified Touring Series. And it all starts right here.
All three of those shows. I wish I could go to all three shows.
Yeah.
But I might get 2 out of the 3 if I can talk the better half into go to Corpus. But if we do that other thing we talked about last week, may only have a chance to go to 1.
It's going to be one hell of a way to start the season, and I like the way he said that. I mean, what better place to start? I mean, ideally the weather should be better here than it's going to be in other places. So yeah, good stuff. Give them a follow on Facebook, United States Modified Touring Series USMTS. I believe it's usmts.com.
I think so.
Yeah, check that out, and
I think it's all spelled out too.
Yeah,
get it
that's
too.
right. That's right. 30 different oval tracks. They'll be racing across the country. You heard him say from down here all the way up to the top and to left and right. They are going to be everywhere. Good stuff. United States Modified Touring Series. Take a break on the other side. Going to switch surfaces. We're going to talk a little bit of pavement racing coming up as we get you ready for the happenings over in Cordell, Georgia. That's going to be good. That's coming up next.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only social club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay serving Central Texas. Located in Round Rock, just off 35, the Lodge boasts the area's largest room with 20 tables, 30 big screen TVs, and nightly complimentary food. Whether you're looking for a tournament or a cash game, you will find it at the Lodge. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 to 4 a.m., and 24 hours on the weekend. Visit us at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045. In our commitment to area high school football, the Horn is excited to introduce the Horn Webcast Network, powered by IHS Fan. In addition to our 3 high school football radio game broadcasts each week, we will provide our fans with the ability to listen to the play call from 8 other weekly high school football games. How cool will it be to sit at your game and click on the Horn app and have complimentary access to as many as 11 different games? The Horn app is your Austin area high school football season ticket. The Horn Webcast Network, powered by IHS Fan.
Call ARS and Rescue Rooter.
Broken AC, leaky pipes, busted water heater? You need a game plan. Call the pros at ARS Rescue Rooter. From maintenance to major emergencies, the special teams at ARS will fix your problem fast with same-day service. Just call 777-7000. Right now, mention Under the Lights and score $75 off any service or repair. Commitment to comfort. That's ARS. Call 777-7000 or visit ars.com.
Saturdays at noon, Revved Up ATX takes over the Horn airwaves. Rodney Rodriguez and Bobby Chaffee discuss the world of motorsports, including winners and losers at 12:15 and places for races at 12:45. It's Revved Up ATX, Saturdays at noon on the Horn, where Austin talks racing. Hashtag Real Race Talk.
Yes, as we come back on the Revved Up Sports Show special Tuesday night edition, Showtime Bobby Chaffee right here, the Iceman, Rodney Rodriguez, that's that man over there, and we are indeed back in black, back on the blacktop surface as we just got done talking with Jeff Nunn of the USMTS. Rodney, who we got on a hotline now?
We are heading now, talking asphalt racing, Watermelon Capital Speedway. Cordell, Georgia is the place for Speed Fest as everything kicks off this week. And we are joined by the promoter, Mr. Ben Sumner. Ben, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about y'all tonight?
Oh, man, we are doing absolutely awesome. Ready for some late model racing. Man, it's coming up. How you guys doing over there? Prep going okay?
Going good. We're just getting ready and looking forward to it, looking for a great turnout, and just excited about everything that we've got going on.
Nice.
So, Ben, back in the day, did you ever think that the racing series would get started at the end of January? I know around here in Austin, it was like nonstop every week from Memorial Day to Labor Day, but now it seems like we race all year round, except for maybe right around Christmas, the week of Christmas and New Year's. How about that over there on y'all side of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. We we have racing going on a good bit throughout the year, and it seems like there's really not an off season anymore, and our regular season basically runs from the end of March till about the middle of September, and then we'll kick it off with Speed Fest for us, and then we'll go back racing in March. But we see a lot of a lot of areas over here in Georgia where they have the bigger shows throughout the winter.
Yeah, no doubt. So I'm sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
No. I was having a little bit of feedback there.
Okay. We can turn you down just a tad bit. It might be us. We might be a little loud. It's talking about asphalt racing. We tend to get a little excited. Sorry about that. But so with this one, you guys out there. So describe your track for our Texas listeners that are not familiar. 3/8 mile oval, and we're used to that. We used to have a pretty good one up here.
Yeah, it's banked pretty good, and it provides some great racing. I mean, all our shows is 2 and 3 wide racing, from our weekly stuff up to this event here. I mean, it's a nice facility, very fan friendly, camping, a lake for fishing. Nice. I mean, it's a nice place and state of the art. I mean, everything from the concessions to the tower, just a really nice place that if somebody comes to visit us, that they will enjoy the experience. I promise you.
Nice. And actually, we still have a nice one in Houston. I meant here in the Austin area, so I take that back.
So Ben, talk about Rodney and I are always amazed at how much stuff, racing stuff, is on. Like everything, right? Like it's on mayonnaise jars, it's on toothpaste, it's on everything. So with the market just being overflowing with racing stuff, is it easier or harder to promote the track to people that like your average race or your average fan that doesn't go out all the time?
Well, it's just an ongoing, challenge, marketing and hitting different areas and what to target and how to target it through television, radio, of course, social media is a big thing. But I think, just in my opinion, on the social media, you're reaching the race fans or the people that are already following what you have. Mm-hmm. You still have to go out. You still have to do the flyers, the other media outlets to try to keep your name out there and fresh, and continue to get people to come in. So it's a challenge, and but it's just something, nobody said it's easy, so you just have to keep digging.
Yeah, no doubt. And Ben, what I like that you guys do, obviously, the late model shows, the pros and the supers, but with this weekend coming up, you also got the locals involved on Friday.
Yes, this will be our first year doing that. We have really strong local support throughout the year, so we wanted to give them an opportunity to be involved in this crown jewel event that we have, and just excited that they're able to be a part of it. We won't be competing all our classes, but our street stock, outlaw, late model, pro trucks, and 4-cylinders will be competing on the preliminary night on Friday night, and then our Legends and Bandolera program's pretty strong too, and they'll be involved as they are every year on the Saturday portion of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So, Ben, how far are you guys from Atlanta? My grandparents used to live basically in between Clemson, South Carolina, and Athens. But as far as your track, so if you're leaving Atlanta, what's the best way to get up there?
I-75 and just go south. We're probably just over 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours south of Atlanta. And we're located at exit 104, and we are about a quarter mile right off the interstate.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
So with the supers, of course, you got Okrezik will be back. He beats Kyle Busch last year, but Bubba's there. You got Travis Braden, fresh off the Snowball victory there. Talk about some of the guys that you got involved. It's an all-star cast, it seems like.
I mean, there's some heavy hitters. I think I'm up to 56 nice. Pre-registered late model teams. Just those gentlemen you just mentioned. Then you got Stephen Nassy, Jet Nolan, Xfinity driver and winner from last year, Brandon Jones. Just the list goes on and on. I mean, we got several young guns. It's just a star-studded field. We've got, I believe, 18 states represented.
Wow.
So it's going to be a great, great show.
Yeah, no doubt. Certainly will.
So in terms of running the racetrack, Rodney and I have been on both sides. Hadn't been the fortunate stuff to be a promoter, but how hard is it for you to come in and try to convince somebody, whether it be a racer, a fan, or whatever, that there's a whole lot more to that running a racetrack than just coming in and flipping on the lights on Saturday afternoon about 6 o'clock?
Well, I don't know how you convince everybody, but I can assure you there is a lot. But just like prepping the race car for a race, I mean, you have a day for your concessions, your orders, then your restrooms and getting the grounds cut and cleaned, ordering trophies, lining up the help, the type of race you're going to have, the payouts, there's just a lot that goes into it. It's definitely, 5 or 6 days a week, the marketing, I mean, it just goes on and on.
Yeah, no doubt. So, and we
Yep. No, I was just saying, a lot of times, the easiest thing about running a racetrack is when the race is going on itself. Because everything else is kind of handled and flowing.
Yeah, it all kind of stops there. Yeah, no doubt about it. So we talked about the supers. So the pros. Casey Roderick wins last year. Looks like a pretty damn good field of pros also.
Absolutely. There's really, there's some heavy hitters coming to compete in that as well. And, I don't have the list in front of me, but we've got a development driver with Lee Fault Racing from Valdosta, Georgia. His name's Ryan Rackley. He'll be there making his first start. Gage Roberts from Nashville, War Development, drivers coming. It's going to be a stout field. Kyle Plott, just several of them. It's definitely going to be a good show.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Ben Sumner joins us. Watermelon Capital Speedway Speedfest coming up this weekend. Of course, you can catch it on Speed 51. So quickly, your CRA, kind of the sanctioning body there. Again, just another nice, real tight outfit that does a really, really good job helping present races.
Absolutely. We've got a great relationship with Glenn and RJ and everybody with CRA, and this has been going on for several years now in Cordele, and I always look forward to having them and the type of show that they run, and we just work great together and just look forward to expanding things and continuing, into the future with them.
Yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm. So lastly, you guys doing extremely well there. Just kind of in general, your thoughts on the state and the health of our sport on the asphalt side. We seem to be sometimes we kind of stub our toe, but I think all in all, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, I do too. Our average car count on a weekly show is 80 to 90 race cars.
Wow.
And sometimes it's a challenge, marketing some with the spectators in our area, but dirt facilities.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're holding our own. We've seen growth over the last 3 years. And I think the biggest thing for us in our area is we do what we say we're going to do. We're consistent with our decisions. And everybody knows they're going to get a fair shake regardless of what type of car or, that they're competing in. And we just always let everybody know how much we appreciate them being there. And we've got a pretty good fan base, and we're just trying to continue to build on that and looking to do some more development on the property this year. And just excited about that as well. So, and as far as the racing itself, I've been involved in dirt racing all my life. My parents actually owned the racetrack in Cordele from 1983 to 1999.
Wow.
And I've been heavily involved in it, running series and things like that on the dirt side as well. But as far as the racing, you can come to Cordele at any event and you can see 3-wide racing all through the night. The proof's in the pudding. It's good. Mm-hmm. What we've got to sell is some good stuff.
Love it.
All right, Ben, one last question before we let you go. It's been popping up. So we have in a town about 30 miles or so southwest of Austin, or southeast of Austin, rather. We have a little thing called the Watermelon Thump, right? They don't claim to be the watermelon capital of the world, but two questions. One is, how did the name of the speedway get started? And then two, if it's watermelon capital, y'all gotta have a hell of a shindig there at some point to celebrate watermelons.
We do, and it's in the middle of July. We, as far as our Watermelon Festival, brings several thousand people into the community. And as far as the name, through the Watermelon Association, some years back, Marvin Reagan was involved in getting that name started, and that was just a relationship that we were able to keep through the years with the Watermelon Association, and it just kind of stuck. And so we've leaned towards the Crisp Motorsports Park now with some developments that we're doing which is home of the Watermelon Capital Speedway.
Right.
Ah,
I like
okay.
it.
Got
I
it.
like it. Hey, do you guys up there, do y'all spit seeds? We have a seed spitting contest over here in Luling. Supposedly the
You know it. Y'all need to come over.
Nice.
I'll challenge anybody.
Oh, man.
I love it.
We love a good challenge.
I love it. I love it. Going to be good, man. We'll be watching, man. Looking forward to Speedfest out there at Crisp. I'll get that right. Man, you guys kill it. It's going to be a great field of racing, and I know it's going to. Last year was exceptional. I think this year's probably going to be better.
It is. I think it's going to be great. And anybody that wants to check out our Facebook page at Crisp Motorsports Park, it has all the updates and the latest entry list and things such as that, along with other general information. Or our website is crispmotorsportspark.com, and they can get all the information. But we've got more teams that have not pre-registered that I found out about tonight. So,
Nice.
I mean, we may even be up around 65 or possibly 70 total teams by the time Thursday evening gets here.
Nice.
And let me tell everybody, because I mentioned it to you, Ben, last night. Now, this guy right here is a promoter. I messaged, and he answered within like less than 5 minutes. He's like, "Boom! Here's my number. Call me. Let's make this happen." That's
nice.
That's how you do it. That is.
We got some Texans going to there,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. Good.
Well, you might say it nice. Sometimes my wife, she don't say nice, but but we try to stay on top of everything. And she's our chief scorer of the facility, so she handles a lot of transponder stuff and does a great job at that. But sometimes she's like, "You really got to answer that," and I'm like, "Give me just a second. Give me just a second." 20 minutes later, I'm back and I'm getting those eyes rolled at me, but I'm not in the doghouse yet. So,
and you're doing a hell of a job if you're promoting the track. You're married to her, and she has that job, because that job she has that's one hell of a tough one right there too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a tough one now, but yeah, she does a good job of that, and we work good together, and we just appreciate the opportunity Mr. Lyles, the owner of the facility, has given us a few years back, and it was kind of like bringing me home, since that's where I was raised and running the facility for a number of years with my parents, and it kind of got me back close to home, and back on the asphalt side of things. So.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, Ben, best of luck there this weekend with Speedfest, and anytime you want to come on and talk about some watermelon, we're all for it.
That's it.
I hear you now.
Yeah.
We can tie in Cordell and Luling, Texas. We have the little battle right there going on.
There you go. Sounds good, guys.
Absolutely. Ben Sumner, we appreciate the time, man. We'll be checking in. Let's have a hell of a race this weekend.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Take care. You bet.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. There he is, Ben Sumner, as they get set to go over at Crisp Motorsports Park.
It's probably one of those. It's still, most people still probably call it Watermelon Capital Speedway. I mean,
how long, when CTS, I'm heading out to Thunder Hill. I mean, whatever. I'm going to Speedorama. It had been Longhorn for however long. I'm heading to 16. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
If we ever win the lottery and open back up, it's going to be Longhorn Speedorama.
See. Not Bad Boys Speedorama.
Come on, man. At least
remember that.
At least when Ron did it, at least it opened back up.
Yeah. No, it's it stayed tried and true. But that Speedfest, man, I've got that. I got some names written down here. Talking about all the guys that I was mentioning there on that entry list: Kyle Plott, O'Kresick, of course, Braden Pollard, Jake Garcia, Kyle Sieg, Stephen Nassy, Jeff Foltz, Corey Heim, and I mean that's just some of them. And like he said, just wait until. This is kind of you in with a huge snowball, and you start.
Because that's the same Garcia kid that ended up.
I feel like second or third
in the
I think
Derby.
he finished second. So that's going to be one hell of a field, and that's going to be something to watch. And that is the beauty of it. I mean, we're here at the end of January. Well, not really even at the end, but you're going to get yourself one hell of a damn good super late model race and a pro late model race. And I like how they've instituted in those locals, and this is lesson learned right there. You heard Ben Sumner talking about right there how with the great following that they had from the local classes, they decided integrate them into the big Triple Crown show there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. Support your track, and that kind of stuff's going to happen. And that's
if you don't support your local division, then you can't bitch when they don't add you to the big show.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And with USMTS coming in, as we talked about in the second segment of this show, I mean, they're coming in, and I mean, if you get out there and watch those races, for one thing, they're going to be entertaining as hell. But I'll tell you what, when they come rolling into town like that, an outside show, I see all of these old pictures popping up, the old All-Pro Series and all of that. And the one thing that you can go back to and look at those, no matter where they are, is the grandstands were full. Mm-hmm. I've seen some pictures of San Antonio back in 83, 84, 85, and it was full when it reopened in 2013, but not full like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nothing like that. So get out there and support all of these shows. These USMTS shows, man, those are going to be absolutely spectacular coming up at the end of February. That's 28th at 37, the 29th at South Texas, and on March 1st over at Cotton Bowl. And then you've got, of course, huge pavement race this week. Catch that. It's going to be fun to watch.
A lot of fun. Our friends over at Speed 51, hopefully they'll have a better broadcast there than they did to end their season there with the Derby. But
yeah, I had actually talked to Ben yesterday. I didn't want to bring up the W word, I mean the R word, any of that. But he said they had gotten a little bit of weather the first part of the week, but everything seemed to be like it was going to clear out pretty well for them. Maybe cooler. I think folks are, hell, in Florida it's going to be in the 30s. I
know. They were talking about that this morning. I couldn't believe it was going to be that cold in Florida.
Yeah, so that's something to think about there, but you can watch it from your cozy confines of your own house. Speaking of Saturday night stuff, so Anaheim 2 was this past week. Eli Tomac wins. So
dominated.
Kind of just waiting for that to happen. So this could be a snowball effect here where Tomac really gets on a roll here, but everything is still nice and tight. We're only 3 races in, but Tomac is a guy that I think he can just check out with this if everything works out for him.
As long as he doesn't get hurt, like he has done occasionally in the past. So hopefully, I'm still hoping for a couple of more winners. I'd like to see it. I don't like it so much in any racing series when it gets sewed up too early.
Yeah.
You get a guy like Cooper Webb that came out of nowhere last year, but I don't see Tomac win it all. I want to see a little more variety. See some of these other bikes. I'm waiting to see when Jason Anderson turns it on. We finally recovers from his injury that he suffered. So I mean, there's still a lot of guys that still. You got Anderson in there. Cooper Webb's got to kick it up a notch. Got to try to get himself a win. Roxon did. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff to still happen. Yeah. Before the season's out.
Yeah. Very very early on, and I think that like you're mentioning there, as long as everybody can stay upright, I do think that it's an opportunity here for 4, 5, 6 guys. Maybe in this. I did see in the 250s, and the name escapes me, but there was a blatant takeout in that 250.
Oh, it's Christian Craig that got taken out.
Yeah, and the guy that took him out's on suspension there. But I mean, that was.
There's a difference between balls to the wall and that.
Yeah,
that was rough.
You want to fishtail somebody is one thing, but that right there, I mean, come on.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
I mean that made all kind of news.
Yeah, it did. I mean, there's absolutely no need for that in that sport. I mean, that's how you get. It's one thing when you see stuff on the racetrack in the cars, full-bodied cars, and even with the open-wheel cars, you still kind of wonder. But these guys are on these bikes, and
I mean, it's amazing Christian Craig didn't get hurt worse.
I know.
It rattled his cage, but I mean, he got lucky. I mean, he could have had a crack. That whole right side leg could have been all tore up.
Yeah, that could have been really bad. That could have been Eli Tomac kind of stuff right there. But fortunately. Fortunately,
a little early.
Not anything
prematurely button pushing.
Yeah, a little bit of happy button pushing. That's because new segment that we will do here at the end of this program, here in the last few minutes as we get ready to check this one out. It's called. One for the Road.
Okay. I'm about to play this one on the fly because I have absolutely no idea.
One for the road will just kind of be a story, and you can send us these at info@revvedupsportshow.com. Just kind of a way to in the program here. One for the road, like if you're leaving, you grab a taco for the road or a beverage.
I can't eat and drive. You should know that by now.
Oh, man, I have a hell of a time with that. So this came out from KVU Austin today. So get a load of this. Here's one for the road for you to think about. So according to a new study, and this is new, apparently it just came out today, this afternoon, Texas has it pretty good when it comes to driving, which, you could think, okay, we
I'll
have
go
good
with
driving.
you on that.
Wallet Hub ranked Texas the 4th most driver-friendly state in the U.S., factoring in gas prices, road quality, and rush hour traffic congestion.
Where the hell were they?
I know. It's like Texas ranked highly in the terms of gas prices, which I'm sure we do. We do. We know we do because we seen that. You remember when we stopped to get ice at the thing, and I'll fill you ice up, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, nice. Thanks to the nice lady in where was that? Mississippi.
Wait, what's that little town where Sul Ross University is?
I don't remember.
Oh, damn.
Man.
Is that where they were at when they were talking about the plans?
But they say it's relatively easy to get your car fixed in Texas, which comes in 6th in the number of car repair shops per capita and 22nd when it comes into the cost to repair your vehicle. Texas was also in the top 5 states with the fewest days of precipitation, which that makes sense, meaning that Texans can keep their cars clean and shiny. What the hell kind of studies this?
That's weird. They had to do it from Alpine. Alpine is where it was at.
Oh. But on the negative side, Texas ranked 28th in traffic fatalities, which we're not going to make light of that, and 30th for rush hour traffic. So when you read that, it's like, okay, well, this needs to be written different because we know that traffic around here sucks in all of these cities. The best state for drivers overall was Iowa, which is about the size of Luling that we talked about.
Go wide open, though. You stand on a tin can and see 100 miles in every direction.
Speaking of wide open, with Tennessee and North Carolina, those are racing states, Texas and Nebraska rounding out the top 5. Hawaii was ranked as the worst state for drivers. I've been there. I believe that.
Oh, man.
They're
come
terrible.
on, man. Really? Give me something to look forward to when I go to Hawaii.
Oh, my goodness. Take an Uber. Don't man, they're awful. They're awful.
My goal is to take a Jeep one day.
That'd be good. Yeah, that would be good. And if you ever go to the 51st state, Puerto Rico, don't drive there.
Yeah.
Holy
hell, watch out for earthquakes.
My goodness. Oh, yeah. But the drivers are worse than the damn earthquakes, I can tell you.
Well, I know it's weird with the Hawaii stuff. Once it all got booked,
yeah,
that's when I was looking. I was like, hey, when is hurricane season? And then they looked, and it's right smack ass in the middle of when we're going.
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah.
No, nothing like an unforgettable trip. Nothing like an unforgettable trip. Hadn't even got to tell you this. I know we're still working on a guest for next week, but we do have one already booked. Got this finalized very, very late last night. And again, I like to shout out these promoters, like we were talking to Ben there, his quick response. Coming up next week as the World Series of Asphalt Racing, or World Series coming up at New Smyrna, we will have Rusty Marcus.
Oh, Rusty finally. Oh, good.
Rusty's
a good dude.
Yeah, Rusty will join us next week, probably around 7 o'clock, and we'll set the plate. We'll set the table. We'll recap Speedfest and get you ready for the World Series.
Like I said, if you never met Rusty Marcus or you don't know who Rusty Marcus is, he will cut up with us. That's going to be a hell of a show. I'm glad we finally got Rusty on.
Going to be a good thing. He's awful busy, but he said, I got to make time for my people in Texas.
That's right.
He said, especially a popular show like you.
That's right. And he listened too, or still listens. Just like all you guys were listening tonight. And we appreciate it from the bottom of our... Well, I guess we have big hearts, don't we?
Oh, hold on. We got to pause this because the question did come in. Yes. Will there be a Daytona show? Yes, there will be. There will be some
we're working...
sort of Daytona show that the question will be, and obviously with the last live show that we did, we had a really, really good outpouring of folks that came about. So if you happen to have a race vehicle that's somewhat close, have that in the back of your mind. And if you want to have a race party, actually kind of blow up not necessarily on this thread right here, but let us know what you think. Watch party, show party. What would you be more apt to come to for Daytona?
Because
put this dirt versus asphalt.
Yeah, there's stuff in the works. We just need to kind of fine tune it to better suit our audience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to come hang out and watch the whole thing? Do you want to go? You want to pre-race? Obviously, we don't want to be doing the show during the race because we want to watch it.
No kidding.
Yeah, so we'll cue that again. So have that in the back of your hat. Rusty Marcus next week, possibly another guest that you folks will be super excited about. But a lot of good USMTS talk tonight.
Lots of good dirt track for those that are saying, and we only concentrate on the asphalt because of Houston. Well, guess what? You got your dirt fix.
The last 2 weeks.
That's right.
God damn it. There you go. Jeff Nunn from USMTS, thank you so much. As well as Ben Sumner from Crisp Motor Sports Park. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Be safe. Remember, be nice to someone. You never know what they're going through. You might feel better, too.
Right.
It's National Hugging Day, for crying out loud.
No. Call one. Yeah.
No, not you.
Oh, what the hell?
I'll look you in the eye later. I got stepped on my little thing here, but
okay.
Little wire is what I meant to. We got to go. Have a good week. For Bobby, I'm Rodney.
It's flying off the rails, everybody.
Back next week.